with my iPhone making a little video for you guys. We're getting into the back to school time of year, and so I thought it might be helpful for homeschooling parents who are looking for a good curriculum for their high schoolers to learn Spanish. I just wanted to do a little review on one of the books that I use that I like. To give you a little background, I was homeschooled myself from 6th grade through high school. I graduated high school and went to college, and I majored in English and Spanish. Then coming out of college, I still had 3 siblings. I'm the oldest of 6, and so 3 of my siblings were still in school, being homeschooled, and my mom asked me if I would teach them Spanish, and I said sure. So starting out, I taught one of my brothers. He was in high school, almost finished with high school, and I taught him Spanish. And then I had 2 siblings that were in elementary school, and I just did like some fun lessons with them. But starting out with my brother, I didn't really know my degree is not in teaching, and so I didn't have any background on like curriculum, how to find it, or anything. And I looked online, and I'm not very good at searching for things online. And so I couldn't find anything that wasn't like hundreds of dollars. So I was like, well, I'll just use my college textbook, which ended up being kind of a nightmare. Me going into college, I had no experience with Spanish, except I could say the Queen is singing in the tower, and I learned that from a curriculum I did in high school that I did on my own, because my parents don't speak Spanish. So that's about all I learned, which wasn't very helpful. They didn't even teach me about conjugation. So I came into college Spanish 101, not knowing anything. I mean, my professor started talking about conjugating, and I was like, I don't know what that means. So I pretty much spent the next semester studying Spanish instead of sleeping, and I made it through the course. And so I don't know why I thought it would be good to take my brother through the same textbook that was so fast-paced and college level. But anyways, we did it, and I think he learned a little bit, and I learned a lot about what not to do to teach high schoolers. So anyways, later down the road, teaching more people, I came across this book called Spanish Now Level 1. And at first I didn't like it because I was so used to my college textbook, which is very just structured way differently. And so it took me a while to get used to it because it is very much a slower pace, which actually is a good thing. It just took me a while to get used to it. So anyways, I just want to share with you a few of the things that I really like about this book, and then I'll probably be doing more like blogging and vlogging about how to use it and supplements and things like that. So if you're looking at getting this book, I think it's a great idea to get it, especially even if you don't speak Spanish yourself as a parent. I think that it's still something that you could buy and use in your home to teach your kids Spanish, not knowing it yourself. It might be a little more of a struggle, but like I said, I'm going to be vlogging and blogging more about it, so giving you like helpful materials and things to get you through it. So I like it, one, because it's inexpensive. You can get it online. I know some of my students have bought it at Half Price Books, which is a used bookstore in our area. And a lot of them come with CDs, which has a native speaker. Let me just show you. Every lesson begins with a story. They call them work units. And then the story comes with new vocabulary where it's written in Spanish and English. And all that vocabulary is in the story. And they also have fun photo or little drawings that go with the pictures. But anyways, the CD will read either the whole story or part of the story, and it's a native speaker. And that is a great tool because you can hear the language spoken by a native speaker, and then you can also, replay it and just repeat after the speaker, repeat the story, and that's a great way to work on your pronunciation. Okay, so it's inexpensive. It comes with a CD. It is consumable, so if you're buying it, make sure you get one that has little or no markings in it, because you don't want the answers to be there, or you don't want other people's work to be in the way of your students. So, or you could just make sure it's pencil markings and then erase it, but I would try to get one that is new or like, you know, hardly used that has no answers, or maybe just answers in the first few chapters. Okay, so number 3, all the answers to the exercises are in the back of the book. There are a few things where it's like, you know, write a paragraph about this, and there aren't answers for that, but there is models in the story and in the exercises, and so what I tell my students is don't try to reinvent the wheel. Find sentences in the book, in the story, in the exercises that are there for you written out in Spanish, and use those to create your own paragraph. And so that way you don't need someone to like correct it for you that does speak Spanish, because you're using the exact sentences that have been modeled for you. And that is okay. That's how we learn. Like when we're babies, how do we learn language? We just repeat after our parents. So so the answers are in the back, so you can, when you do the exercises, you can check them. So even if you don't speak Spanish, you can look in the back and see if you wrote them correctly. What else? It's inexpensive. It comes with a CD of a native speaker. It's consumable, so I like that. You can write the answers right in it. It has the answers in the back. Oh, the one last thing before I say adios is it takes things, each little like grammar point and new thing that they introduce, it takes it so slowly. So you get one new little thing each chapter, and they explain it with a bunch of, you know, grammar explanation, and then you have really repetitive exercises that help you practice what they teach. So it may seem repetitive at first, but I think that's a great way to learn the language, and it focuses on one small thing at a time, and then it builds on that. And a lot of times the vocabulary is repeated, so you'll have a word introduced maybe in like work unit 1, and then in work unit 5 it's a vocabulary word that again. And so I think that's great because it's, you know, it's introducing new language and letting you work on memorizing it through context and memorization, if you do like flashcards or whatever. And then it reintroduces it, so it's like reminding your brain of that word that you already learned. So those are just a few things I like about this book. Like I said, I'm going to be vlogging and blogging more about it this year. I'm actually taking a break from teaching Spanish 1, so I'm going to take that time to work on sharing materials and supplements and ideas for using this book for families who are looking to learn Spanish at home. Because not everybody has money to pay for a tutor or to pay for a class, and I just want to show families that you can learn Spanish at home with your kids. Adios.